Formula One heads from one sprint weekend in Shanghai to another in Miami, Florida. We're here at the Hard Rock Stadium, the Miami International Autodrome, for round 6 of the 2024 Formula One season, dominated by Max Verstappen. And it is 6th stop on the calendar. Verstappen winning the opening 4 out of 5. Sainz winning in Australia. Now we're here at round 6. After this, it's Emilia-Romagna, followed then by Monaco to round out May. June sees us in Canada, along then with Spain and Austria. July sees the halfway stage and the British Grand Prix, then a little break before Hungary and Belgium takes us to the summer break. August sees us in the Netherlands with a brief stopover in Italy, that takes us to September, with Azerbaijan and Singapore taking us out. October takes us back to COTA for the United States Grand Prix, then over to Mexico. November sees us round out the season in Brazil, Las Vegas, and then we take out with Qatar into December with Abu Dhabi on the 8th. In the driver standings, Max Verstappen leads on 110 points, Sergio Perez on 85, Charles Leclerc 76 to Carlos Sainz 69, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri 58 to 38, George Russell's on 33 to Claire Alonso, who's on 31, Hamilton on 19 with Stroll on 9. Tsunoda has 7, 6 for Behrman, and then 4 for Hulkenberg and 1 for Magnussen. Albon, Ocon, Zhou, Ricciardo, Gasly, Bottas, Sargent, still with no points on the board. Red Bull lead on 195 points to Ferrari's 151. McLaren have 96, Mercedes on 52. Aston Martin are 5th with 40, and then it's a big drop before RB have 7, Haas have 5. Williams, Alpine and King Sauber still no points for those 3 teams after the opening 5 races, despite both being close in the opening stage. Alpine, though, still was one of the worst cars on the grid. Let's take a look around the Miami International Autodrome as well here in Florida. 3.362 miles, 19 turns, 3 DRS zones as well. It's a challenge for the drivers, but it's a nice flowing track. Get a good exit out of the hairpin, boot it hard with the DRS open and hurtle down towards turn 1. Heavy braking zone as well after the start-finish straight from 8th gear. Spot your braking zone, down, 2nd gear. Back on the revs halfway through. Balance the curves, quite single file through here. No chance for a double overtake before you fly into turns 4, 5, 6 and 7. A bit of a touch of the wall on the inside. Can't bounce all back through nicely, but the track here, as you pass the fake marina, just wants to throw you out wide, so hug the inside line as best you can. Hurtle down now towards turn 11, 2nd DRS zone on the track as well. Always trying to remember exactly where the opportunistic braking point will come. Not at 100, not at 70. You try and brake at 50 metres to go before the apex of the corner. Down from 8th again to 2nd gear. Car wants to throw you wide as you come into the narrowest part of the track as well, through the Red Bull chicane at the top of the hill. Uphill, side brake, underneath the motorway, all in 2nd gear. 3rd DRS zone on the track then activated, the longest straight on the entire circuit. Opportunity for overtaking as you blast past the line of trees next to the canal. Can you get a perfect opportunity to sling it up the inside? Braking here is hard because you want to lock up and go straight on. It's a tight exit with the wall coming towards you. DRS open again, power to the line, and that is a lap at the Miami International Autodrome in Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Miami for the 6th round of the 2024 Formula One World Championship. And it's another sprint weekend as well. We're here ready to go. We get one practice session, then into the sprint shootout. Tomorrow morning, we have the sprint race, then the normal qualifying, and then we have all action go for the Grand Prix on Sunday. We're live on Twitch, on JB Motorsports Twitch. We're live on JB Motorsports 2 as well. And hello to everybody watching us delayed on JB Motorsports as well. Well done for sticking with us, and hopefully you enjoy all this weekend's action. We'll be live across JB Motorsports 2 and Twitch throughout the weekend. Hopefully tomorrow we get our JB Motorsports 1 back for the sprint race. If not, you know where we're going to be. The links to all that is on Twitter as well, at JB Motorsports X, and you can find out exactly where we are with links directly to these live streams. But we're all set to go. Josh T is alongside me, a couple of minutes away for the first session, and 10% chance of rain, but for once in sunny Miami, we are actually predicting some wet weather, which means that this session is even more crucial to give us data for Sunday. Good afternoon. Good evening, I should even say, JT.
Hello, yeah, absolutely. And when it rains in Florida, it rains. So we'll see what happens there as well. But we're here in Miami. Miami is a weird one. It's a little bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. And most people hate it.
Don't say that to Maddie Patterson. She might actually not come back on the air again if she says anything like that again. To come on. It's not supposed to rain. It is supposed to rain. There is a chance of rain.
There is meant to be rain.
Yeah, wet start is expected for the for both races, actually, the sprint and the Grand Prix. We're expecting a damp start to proceedings. So fingers crossed it won't rain, but there is that opportunity. So we're getting ready, all set then for the first practice of the weekend. We'll be here throughout it as well. McLaren are going all in this weekend as well. 10 upgrades on their car, 9 times performance, and 1 for circuit specific as well. 50% of the upgrades are on Piastri's car. 100% upgrades are on Lando's. That'll change going into the sprint shootout later on as well. But definitely McLaren looking ready to go. Like they've got the opportunity to go for it as well. We've also got F1 Academy. Their second practice session follows us before we go into the sprint shootout as well. So there's all sorts of drama to be happening this weekend. I think, JT, as well, we should be in for a fun evening of racing for F1 Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. And F1 Academy, of course, with the Formula One going around with them as well. But yeah, it should definitely be a good one.
Stand by for action then. Here it comes. It's the Miami Grand Prix weekend. It's the first and only practice session ahead of the sprint race tomorrow. It's going to be crazy and energetic. Expect a lot of running. Up in the commentary box, it's myself and Josh T. It's the only practice session we get ahead of the sprint weekend for the Miami Grand Prix. It's round 6 in 2024 and 24 races spanning around the globe, and it's our first trip to the United States. We're in Florida, Miami, the Miami International Autodrome. They really wanted it to spell Maya, which is the airport designation, 3 letters. And the 3 sectors here are a mixture. Sector 1 is slow and methodical curves. Sector 2, a bit more open and flat out, where there's some heavy chicanes at 14 and 15. And then Sector 3 is a fast, literal, open straight with DRS galore, making it the tyres, the middle range compound. It's the white hard C2, the yellow medium C3, and the red soft C4 tyre as well. And that should be interesting for qualifying rates, of course, because in SQ1 and SQ2 you're going to be limited to the medium compound tyre, limited to brand new softs in Q3. So here this morning, expect everyone to be running on the hard compound tyre, which isn't going to be that representative. But Josh T, we should be seeing a little bit more interesting weekend action as we go on, because sprinting, especially here in Miami, it's the great unknown. It's a circuit that doesn't really produce great racing and keeps on changing every single time we come here.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's some changes to the circuit as well, with pit lane entry, I believe, and all some different gates, which doesn't affect the racing, but the pit lane entry will definitely.
Yeah, first 3 weekends as it's come in as well. So we finally got our commentary cam back on Sky to see them, because they haven't been in the commentary box past 2 races. They've been in a bunker in the paddock. There is Ayrton Senna, and there's an Aston Martin in the water. Not the first time we're going to see that this weekend as well. It's the worst track on the calendar, says Brad. It's never produced some good racing, has it? But we're hopeful that the sprint might change that. It's going to be shaking up the format. It worked in Shanghai, though, the sprint and the feature. It delivered us some great Grand Prix action, and 19 laps for the sprint, 57 for the Grand Prix tomorrow as well. It just gives us the excitement, and maybe this is a track that the sprint can work out a little bit more, but overtaking is so difficult here. Well, I'm worried we're just going to see a bit of a follow me leader throughout the weekend, unless it rains.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's meant to rain Sunday morning, I believe, with even some thunderstorms maybe scheduled.
Yeah, a lot of rain is expected in the morning as well. I think we need to bin off sprint races, says Brad as well. Shanghai was decent enough, and it gave us a great race on the Sunday as a follow-through as well. Yeah, the touring car watch-along was like 240p. Yeah, that's because we were using Discord, and it was heavy rain throughout, and there was loads of storms, so the signal wasn't great, unfortunately, when we tried to the touring cars. But I think it worked. And we're making the adjustments going forward for next time, when we're not going to use Discord. Next time what we're going to use is a software where it takes the camera directly through to the PC, so it won't lag anywhere else. So fingers crossed that's going to be a little bit different. And then Discord will be used for the voices and all that lot. So just stay tuned for that. You'll see what we mean going forward. When we get to
That's
not kill. Yeah, me and Megan have been adjusting it. We've just been working out.
Nice.
That's coming in not kill. So basically it's the software that Tom Dillon uses when he does it. I think you've used it, JT, where you have to log in on the URL online. That's what we're going to be using. Because then it...
Oh, that one.
Yeah, it uses less data than Discord, and it doesn't lag. So you can log in and send it, and then stay in the Discord call with the voice. So that's what we're going to do next time around at Not Kill. We're also looking at getting a wireless mic XLR adapter for Not Kill as well. Green light's on, though, and we're underway here in Miami for the first and only practice session here of the weekend. The cars venture out onto the track, and fingers crossed we're going to be in for an interesting weekend as Piastri comes out. Norris just behind as well. Esteban Ocon will be coming out. And let's see what this weekend has to offer. Bright sunshine at the moment. Track temperature 48.7 degrees. Air temperature 28.5, 57% humidity, no chance of rain, but wind is high though, JT, 11.2 kilometres blowing in from the south.
Yeah, absolutely, and I hope the wireless mic you're getting is a mic which won't electrocute you, Josh.
It's a T-bone transmitter, so so basically it's an XLR you plug in to your already XLR microphone, and it turns it wireless. So that's what we've got hold of. Hopefully it costs, I think, £85, but it's a good signal as well. So that's what we're looking at for Not Kill. And also getting some ear defenders that are Bluetoothed as well, so that I can go fully wireless and walk around a bit more without having to have the wireless backpack on. That weighs a ton, let me tell you. On board with Kevin Magnussen then, down on the backstretch. And just listen to it soar as it comes through. Here's Lando Norris, a brand new McLaren. Here's his radio.
Something doesn't feel right. It's much harder to turn right than it is left.
Oh.
It's really easy to turn left and really hard to turn right.
Okay, understood.
Well, that's disappointing to hear, especially as this McLaren's got new upgrades here this weekend. They've got a new front wing, a new front suspension, a new front corner, a new floor body, a new side pod inlet, new coke and engine cover, new cooling louvers, new rear suspension, new rear corner, and a new beam wing. That's how we get it through. And I think as well, this McLaren, effectively a B-spec car, Lando's got all the new parts in and already running into slight problems as he comes back in pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not looking good there for the McLaren of Norris after all those upgrades.
How do you get rid of these chilling things on the side of your cameras? On the disco core? I've just noticed, they look ridiculous. How do you get rid of those? Dear me.
They are a little bit annoying, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Yes, the chat talking about last year's Sprint Racing Qatar. That was amazing, the Sprint Racing Qatar. Let's head down there to the pit lane and join Tech
Practically, all the upgrades they brought here and just check that they work and interact well with each other. Obviously, having 10 of the upgrades, Crofty, that is quite a lot. And there are some that are on at the moment which are not able to be changed. Obviously, rear beam wing, front suspension, front corner, rear corner as well. So many of them, but there is a lot to do for McLaren. A few upgrades, though, Aston Martin as well. And that's impressed me, Crofty. Having brought some new bits to China, they brought some even more new bits to here in Miami as well. And I was going to tell you what was new on the Red Bull. It's actually just a bit of a stiffening part, a little metal stiffening plate to the floor edge. They've taken that off because they found they didn't need it in the end, and it actually saves a bit of weight. So that's the only upgrade that's on the Red Bull. But yeah, very busy pit lane down here and busy track.
Yeah, thank you very much. Everyone's heading out there on the circuit at the moment. As you can see on the driver tracker, it is pandemonium out there. Piastri's on a 131.491. Gasly's gone second. Ocon third. Magnussen from Norris. Only Magnussen lap time actually, so it's down to Magnussen in fourth place. At the moment, Zhou now goes ahead, 135.538. Goes up into fifth position as well. So everyone now just kicking up what they need here for the session. And fingers crossed it's going to be an interesting weekend. Piastri, 131.491 then on the hard tire. As I said, JT, everyone out there on hards, but Zhou medium, Hamilton medium, Verstappen, Perez, Russell all out there on mediums. And Hamilton now 131.127 on the medium tyres, goes fastest overall. So bit of a split strategy for everyone who's trying to have a go, as Logan Sargent, despite being his second season of Formula One, it's his fourth home race of his career. As last year, of course, it was three: Miami, COTA, and Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. Sainz has just set his first lap time of a 132.753, same as Tsunoda, 132.614. Magnussen, a 131.379, just set as they go across the line. The cars out on track. Everyone is out on track except Norris and Albon.
You'll be hearing from Omi in the sprint race tomorrow. He's not 100%, so he's recovering. Jess is on her lunch break. She'll be back with us for F1 Academy's second practice session. And Megan will be here as well in the sprint shootout later on. Also, David Croft has been nicking our things again, chaps, because he's just done a Taylor Swift reference. I mean, we're famous for doing the Taylor Swift references, and Taylor Swift is going to be here this weekend alongside with her partner, Travis Kelce, who's part owner of the Alpine team. He's coming down as well with Patrick Mahomes, of course, from Kansas City.
Steering feels quite heavy.
Copy. Heavy, but the same both ways, Oscar, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Sounds like McLaren have done the weights a bit too well on the power steering, so that should be a quicker adjust than normal with those updates.
Yeah, and I've heard, Josh, not F1 related, but power steering Formula E Gen 4.
Double yellow, and disabled Charles Leclerc's off at the top of turn 16. He's spun it. He's spun it round, so he's going the wrong way on the circuit, and that's a very dangerous part of the track there, because it's now we've got Magnussen, Tsunoda, and Hamilton coming through that zone now. Double yellows are out in sector 15, yellow flag sector 14, and now he's blocked the track. And we've got cars coming through as well, including Tsunoda. Hamilton's coming through there too, and Leclerc is blocking the track, and Hamilton's had to come to a stop. They'll have to red flag this. Hamilton's now come to a stop, and Charles Leclerc has blocked the circuit, exit of turn 16. Hamilton's come to a stop. Verstappen, Perez, Russell coming through. They'll have to stop this. They'll have to throw the red flags because the cars are going to start overheating. Hamilton can't get out. Leclerc's doing an 1,000,000-point turn, and now Hamilton just about gets away with it, but Leclerc is sideways on the circuit. Now we've got Verstappen coming through, and Leclerc now completely Austin Powers is sideways on the track. No sign of the red flags, but the doubles are out, and everyone now taking it very easy. And Charles Leclerc has got himself into an almighty pickle right now. No sign of the red flag at the moment to come through, but that's Leclerc, and I think he's now also stored the engine, JT.
Yeah, absolutely. So this should be a red flag, and Omi, you can look away now.
Has he restarted on the battery power? It is possible to do that. Double yellow now, sector 15. Well, this is, and now Sergeant Sainz coming through as well. Oh, this is ridiculous. What we need here is a red flag, someone to go out there with a trolley, swing the car around, and away he goes. It shouldn't be this difficult. Let's see how he's done it.
Replay.
So it's through the chicane. So he's going to loop it round. I reckon he's going to touch the curb and it's going to loosen the rear. Yeah, exactly that. Curbs are too high there. So many people have done that. Just touch the inside of 16. I'm having a look and seeing Leclerc's engine. No, Leclerc's lost the engine, JT. I'm looking at it on the battle screen here. We take a look, actually. Take a look at his throttle. He's down in P7. He's got no speed and no throttle and no brake. So that car has completely... And it's now a red flag situation. They've stopped the session. The car's gone. So Charles Leclerc loses an entire hour of practice time as the red flag comes out. And he's Austin powered himself into the side. That red flag took around about 3 minutes to come out. That was not on.
Well, we had it last time out as well with the all of the double yellows and safety cars with Valtteri Bottas. So, yeah, that is practice done for Charles Leclerc.
Yep, because as Jess points out in the YouTube chat, if you're watching live with us on Twitch and YouTube, Leclerc isn't allowed to take any further part in the session unless he can get going, and he's out of the car himself. Charles Leclerc will go into the sprint shootout with absolutely no practice. Mamma mia. Well, this is why you don't put blue on the car. Well, this is... Omi's now... watching, but I don't think he's going to be happy about this one. Let's take another look at it. He's just going to loop it round. So turns in to 16, hits the sausage curb, and that unsettles the rear of the car, puts too much traction down, loops him round when he hits the throttle, and he kept the engine going for so long, but yeah, just couldn't get it going. Loving the Maverick content as well. Says Omi. Wow. This is box office Maverick Raghunathan. Yeah, Raghunathan come through. Wanted some more. Well, Raghunathan did this back in. Where were we? Azerbaijan. And there's a Ferrari, completely undamaged, but stuck sideways. And I think, JT, if that happens in the race, it'll be another red flag because it's the narrowest part of the track, and you can't. There's no way through there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see.
Actually, thinking about it, there was a car accident there a couple of months ago. At this very part of the track, a car came off the motorway and ended up sideways on the side of the track. So, yeah, because that part of the track is purpose-built. It's permanent, that section. And a car came off the motorway and landed on the road track. So, red flags out then, as we wait to see what will happen next. And Logan, if you want to spin in there, we can get some standing start for a spin. Says Omi as well. Yeah, Baku practice.
Josh.
Yes.
Red flag talk.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the Formula E zone chat. Apparently there's power steering for Gen 4.
There is, yeah. Power steering finally.
Is there?
Yes, yeah. Power steering coming
Awesome.
back for Gen 4, which I think is finally a good thing. To be fair, to have
Yeah.
it. I don't know why it didn't. The entire thing needs the full power. And power steering should be a standard in all of motorsport, especially in these positions where it's just so impossible to run without it. So, Formula 1 has power steering. Every series should have power steering, in my opinion. If it's there, use it, because it is so much beneficial. Think about in Formula E how many... Well, Sam Bird, most recently, broken wrist. Robin Frijns, broken wrist. All because there's no power steering. I know what you're going to say, Daniel Ricciardo broke his wrist, but that's only because he broke the wrist after the fact. He took it off the wheel, and it was the jolt of energy that meant that he broke his wrist back at Zandvoort. So, red flag, 12 minutes into the session, a crucial session, I might remind you. And now we have to wait until the session gets restarted, because they have to go and retrieve the car from down there at the bottom of the circuit. So, we're live on Twitch on JB Motorsports, and we're live on JB Motorsports 2 on YouTube. I'll be throughout the weekend as well. And we'll be live as well, hopefully tomorrow, and on Saturday and Sunday on JB Motorsports 1 as well. But we're just all channels covered throughout this weekend. For the Miami Grand Prix, there is Christian Horner, Adrian Newey not sat at the chair. Adrian Newey is here this weekend, but has immediately stepped back from the day-to-day runnings of Red Bull. That's the big news story that broke midweek, of course. Adrian Newey is leaving Red Bull Racing at the end, well, actually no, in the first quarter of 2025. Josh, who is your weatherman? I need words. There's a 20% chance of rain all day in Miami on Sunday. Well, I got the information from the FIA weather systems, and then it was confirmed in an article written as well on Race Fans. So, yeah, it's a scheduled damn start. And it is due to rain. And is Adrian Newey going to take that second seat, JT? Track is green, by the way, apparently, so we're going to go green. Where is that car? I don't trust it when it shows it, if it's not in a position, because that's the Gamebridge logo. So where exactly is that on the circuit? Don't say track's clear if it's not clear, because then we really have problems. That's Charles Leclerc behind the JCB, heading out. Let's just check if Sky are back from their ad breaks. Not just yet.
Not, they're just coming back.
Good timing on my part. I looked at the clock. Oh, headset's gone.
Here
we are then.
or have we? No, the track is now clear, but it doesn't look like anyone's going out in a hurry here. So what?
Well, we haven't restarted, Crofty. That's why. The track is clear, but we haven't had a restart time from the stewards. That's why. And also just may or may not have just pulled my entire headset off me because the lead was out of position. Session will restart at 12:46, so in 45 seconds' time, we're going to go back to green flag running. Well, top of the minute, actually, as you can see on the top there.
Yeah.
I don't get the Adrian Newey. Let's hear from Nico Hülkenberg with Ted.
And now you're a Works Audi driver for next year.
Yeah, not yet. It's all in the future, but it is happening, and obviously very happy, excited about it, and quite unusual for me that I know so early in the season where my future will be. That's obviously quite comfortable and happy, and also obviously it takes that subject away so we can focus on the remainder of the season with Haas. That I obviously want to finish as successful as possible.
Nico Hülkenberg has been confirmed as one of Sauber's drivers for 2025. What was your reaction when you heard the news?
Of course, the timing is quite early and a little bit surprising. But the driver market is starting to move, obviously, and it also kind of makes sense. He's German, and Audi's made pretty clear that they want a German driver. So it's all good. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, surprise, I don't think it's a big surprise, but I think a little bit more surprise is probably the time of the announcement. It's been quite early of the season, but on my side, didn't really change my approach. I'm focused on deliver my results the best shape as possible for the team, also for my future heading off. So I don't know where I'm going to be, either here or somewhere else, but right now I'm just trying to put myself on track and give the opportunities to see.
Well, that to me sounds like Zhou Guan Yu's off. Valtteri Bottas has already said that Audi made it clear they want a German in the team. I think, JT, what this is basically saying is we're going to have Hülkenberg maybe alongside a certain other driver that we've now got to discuss about. Hülkenberg has been locked in. Who do you see taking that second seat at Audi in 2026? Or even maybe next year?
Yeah, Audi. That's a difficult one, I think, because there's so many different drivers in Formula 2 that want to come up to Formula 1, but there's also returning drivers that have been in Formula 1 but have been put to the sideline. Mick Schumacher comes to mind.
Yeah, it does. Mine as well. Is Mick going to come back and have an old German lineup at Audi? Kind of makes sense. Sebastian Vettel's been thrown around a little bit, but he's also been thrown with a link to Mercedes to replace Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen has sort of squashed those rumours. He's moving to Mercedes after saying that even a $250 million salary wouldn't tempt me away to what Mercedes is doing right now. But would Adrian Newey tempt him away as well? This is the big chessboard that's being played out in front of us. Let's talk about this Adrian Newey situation as well. I'll give you the full news. It was announced on Wednesday that Adrian Newey was leaving Red Bull at the first quarter of 2025. Now, whether that is anywhere between January the 1st or March the 31st, that's the question. But importantly, he's stepped away immediately from the day-to-day running of Formula One's aero department. He's now focusing on the RB17 hypercar. That's effectively going to be his gardening leave until the first quarter of 2025. And crucially, JT, what that means is in the second quarter of 2025, he is able to go to another team and immediately start planning help with the 2026 big regulation changes. So, who or where is he going to go to? Will it be Aston Martin? Will it be Ferrari? Is it Mercedes? Even Kobe Lambert mentioned the other day on the Grid Tonight Show, could Andretti or Audi be a situation? It's an endless possibility. So, first of all, what did you make of the news, and where do you think he could go?
It was actually a little bit surprising. I know it was rumoured quite a lot, but again, with what happened with Hülkenberg, it's the same way I found out that it was when I was researching for my speaking and listening thing. I was doing it on the motorsport, of course, and I was looking at websites for stuff, and it came up on like the read more. Adrian Newey leaves Red Bull, and then the day after it was Nico Hülkenberg, or one of the way. But yeah, so I was just at school getting my presentation done, and it just popped up on the side. So yeah.
Whether or not we're getting, as we see a bit of a lock-up there from Tsunoda, and he's been told to be careful down there turn 1. So Checo actually, I think, as well. Let's look at the screens. So everyone locking up ever so slightly. But yeah, so let's go through this one by one, because Adrian Newey is a very, very, very big deal in Formula 1. Mercedes, the team that were affected most by the regulation changes, as we hear from Ando.
I mean, he still doesn't feel amazing. It still feels harder to turn right than it does left for the time being. But I'll just continue and see if it changes at all.
That's right.
Yeah, so Lando's not happy with that one. Yeah, so Mercedes, the team most affected by the regulation changes. They went for a more ground effect car with no side pods. Took them a year and a half to ditch that concept. Now they have side pods, but the last year's car wasn't a winner. Only had 2 pole positions. And this year, it's looking a bit worse for wear as well. So, Adrian Newey has sort of fixed what Mercedes have done this year with the RB20. So could he go to Mercedes and rescue their team as a sort of swan song? Could he link up there as well with Max Verstappen, who is top rumoured to leave Mercedes? Could that be Toto Wolff's ultimate middle finger to Christian Horner to snap his star designer and his star driver?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. That would be a good way of doing it. But personally, I don't see
Here he is.
both Nui and Verstappen going to Mercedes. But then again, it's Formula One. Anything can happen.
Let's talk about Ferrari then, as it seems to be the most likely. Adrian Newey did have a meeting with somebody from Ferrari in London on Thursday. Fred Vasseur arrived today, so did Adrian Newey. The rumour is that they had the meeting together. That's unconfirmed at this time. What is confirmed is that Adrian Newey had a meeting with someone from Ferrari. He's expressed interest in wanting to work with Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari before. And while we ponder on that, let's head down to Martin Brundle, down at turn 8 and 9, down to 11.
Yeah, I'm on the inside of turn 11. It's quite a long way out here, but it's worth it. Now I've made it. It's quite a slow corner, so they rock up at a couple of 100 miles an hour, just over 300 kilometers per hour. Minimum apex speed here, just 56 miles an hour. And they don't actually, this is turn 11, when they go into the sort of never-ending right-hander of 12, they don't get full throttle between the two. They're really tickling and just controlling the back of the car, the wheel spin. They really don't hustle between one corner and the other, which really stands out to me here. You can see the back of the Aston Martin there on hard compound tyres, just complaining a little bit as the driver tried to put the torque onto two-wheel drive cars, of course. No traction control or stability control or anything like that. ABS, of course, nothing. So it's all down to the nut that holds the steering wheel and how he or she manages to progressively put the throttle on. As we see George Russell there, who drove me around here yesterday in a Mercedes in a most impressive manner. I don't know why I'd be surprised about that, but he's a drift master as well as a Formula One master. He's finished 5th and then 4th here in the 2 races we had, and he seems to like and know this place really well. A car, Williams locked up just before you threw to me and had an awful stench of scorched Pirelli Formula One tyre down here. But so they're just finding their way in. There are 3 big stops on this circuit. This is one of them. But it's, as I say, it's really striking me just how cautious they have to be between the two, and remind you how big and how fast that Formula One car is. The blue, when I saw the images of the Ferrari, I thought, yeah, all right, yeah, not bad. It looks like they just saw, right, spray a few bits of this car blue, will you? And we'll have a new livery for the weekend. But I must say, on track, it's really quite striking, particularly the blue wheels. But of course, we've only got one car out there at the moment. So early days in this sprint weekend, but the drivers are finding their way through here nicely. I'll move on.
Thank you, Martin. Max Verstappen down into turn 17, getting past Lewis Hamilton on the outside line. Locks up and runs straight on, and luckily is able to do a little bit of a better 360 than Charles Leclerc and gets out of it, JT. But just a snag at the brake caused by Hamilton being in his eye line for the braking zone.
Yeah, absolutely. So just running a little bit deep there and gets it turned and continues. And there's Charles Leclerc.
The pain behind the eyes there for Charles Leclerc. Back live now with 34 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And there's Alonso, who's passed Hamilton on that back straightaway. Stroll and Hulkenberg coming in there as well. White flags are out as everyone is slowing, because this is where you push at the exit of the penultimate corner to get a good run at the exit. And away. Look at Hamilton, he was almost at the wall there at the exit as well. But this is putting down the rubber. The track's improving every second. We saw this in the F1 Academy practice 1 this morning that Jess was leading the coverage on. It was just so much better traction and lap after lap. And now we're going to have bit cool, the track temperature actually now. It's up, it's up 51.3 track temperature. That's insane, JT. 50, oh, yellow flag, sector 3. And I think it's Danny Ricciardo. It's gone green now, so it was either Joe Sainz or Ricciardo who must have cut the corner at 14.15. So just gone over that little straightaway. Hamilton's got the fastest first sector already on a 29.778. So Lewis is finding some deltas that are working for him as he goes past turn 11 when Martin Brundle was. Round turn 12 and the fake Marina into 13. Then the chicane at 14 and 15. A tight uphill section. Oh, and jumps over the curb massively. Why that section of track is here, I don't know, as Sainz goes third. But Hamilton is on rails here. What's his second sector? He's faster than Perez, but he's not fastest overall. Got Ocon just in his way. Hamilton hits the brakes, locks up, inside front left. That's going to run out him wide at turn 17 into 18 and 19, the last corner. Hamilton across the line. This won't be the fastest time. And goes second, 129.759.
Decent lap even with that mistake, though. 0.127.
Very, very decent lap time. Currently 14 pence. George Russell here, 14 points ahead of teammate Lewis Hamilton. Gearbox, says Fernando Alonso. Something's wrong with the gearbox. That's all we've got on the team radio. So we've just got gearbox issue. Where is Alonso? Is he shifting? No, he's not. Where is he? 7th gear, 8th gear. Alonso looks fine to me on the shifter. Let's have a word with Zach Brown, shall we? New loads of new upgrades. He's on the pit wall with Crofty.
Is suffering from so far.
Yeah, it looks like we have it resolved. We had a front suspension issue unrelated to our upgrades on Lando's car, but it looks like that's sorted out now.
Have you got the upgrades on both cars? Ted was wondering if Oscar had all the nice shiny new bits that Lando had.
No, Lando has the full package. I would say Oscar has half the package, and they'll have the balance. Both cars will in Imola at the next race.
Hey Zach, it's Jensen. Just a question about the package. This is a hefty package. Why have you decided to go this route rather than trickling parts onto the car over time?
As you know, a lot of the elements are interrelated, so we felt it was better to come out with a big upgrade where all the items are working together that we think wouldn't work as well if you kind of did parts of it at a time.
And yeah, so Zach, is there a risk factor in bringing the parts to a sprint weekend? Yeah, so is that the drivers? Do the drivers get involved in that decision as well beforehand?
Yeah, we talked to obviously both of them what we're going to do, and the sprint weekend does make it a challenge, and that was part of the reason why we've gone with the strategy that we have. Ideally, when you're bringing substantial upgrades, you'd not be a sprint weekend, but we're ready and going for maximum performance. But that's why we decided to split the two. Also with the Parc Fermé rules, need to make sure we have enough bits for both cars. So that definitely drove part of our decision.
And just finally, Zach, a lot of chatter about Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull at the moment as one of the biggest stories in Formula One this year. Williams have said that they've had light discussions with him about a potential return to Grove. Any plans at McLaren to reunite Adrian Newey with one of his former teams?
Our plans are to keep doing what we're doing. I'm really happy with everything that Andrea and the whole technical team are doing. I think they're showing that they're putting good performance on the car, so we're going to stay the course and keep trying to get closer to winning some races and ultimately going for the championship.
So we'll rule McLaren out with that one. Where do you think Adrian Newey will end up, Zach?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. They're obviously Ferrari seems to be the hot rumor, but as you know, I know Adrian pretty well. I think he'll probably take a little bit of time because it doesn't look like whatever he does, he can't start there tomorrow. So, but Ferrari seems to be the hot rumor, so let's go with that one.
Thanks ever so much, Zach. Great to have you with us this weekend. And Zach will be back with us during sprint qualifying. Talking of Ferrari, Carlos Sainz has just gone fastest on the hard compound tyre, just under 3/10 between himself and Sergio Perez, and we are just over halfway through this practice session, the one and only practice session. Piero Ferrari is here, big focus on Ferrari. They've only got one car on track though, after Charles Leclerc's spin and having to switch off the engine at turn 16.
Yeah, that seems to be the big factor coming into it. But right now, we have got... Oh, hello a minute. The wrong timing tower. There we go. Everyone, I was surprised by that. My fault, sorry. The wrong timing tower was on. It was the race one was on, not the practice and qualifying one. To come into it. Is that why Leclerc caused issues because the boss of Ferrari is here? I don't really think he's going to be the greatest look, is it, JT? That the boss of Ferrari is here and you don't have your last, and your teammate, who's won this year, is fastest. Question to you, JT. Have Ferrari sacked the wrong guy? Not the first time I've asked this to you this year.
I mean, Carlos Sainz has given them a win. Amy, I would recommend you don't listen to this. But I think they have. I honestly think they have, because look at the stats. The only person in the past 2 seasons to win a main race, not excluding sprints, is Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz in the main Grand Prix has been the only person who has been able to defeat Max Verstappen, and it's happened this year as well. And it could happen in Singapore again.
It's ridiculous to think that Charles Leclerc has not won a race since Austria 2022. And in a car that has proven, as you say, time and time again to be a race winner, Leclerc is worse. Leclerc was second in the driver's standings after Australia. Now he's dropped back and Sainz has come back through. I mean...
Yeah.
I just can't believe it anymore, the fact that they've got rid of Carlos Sainz. I think Sainz is coming to his own, but now the question is, where does Sainz go? To link back to earlier on with that second Audi seat, does he follow his father and go into Audi and takes over alongside Nico Hülkenberg? Because Hülkenberg and Sainz, questionable, but with the way Sainz is performing right now, that's a strong lineup for Sainz. And Hülkenberg, again, he's made it through to Q2 twice this year, and into Q3 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Sainz and Hülkenberg is questionable, but to be fair, I think it could work. And that would put Sainz in a place for his Audi.
We'll have to wait and see. The tables are turning in F1 2024. Let's take a look at Max Verstappen. This is at the chicane at 14 and 15, just getting a little bit too close to the wall and sliding it around. We've switched to the pit lane channel while Sky are on an ad break, so we can have the pictures still up. And yeah, Max is looking a bit scruffy out there today, isn't he, as well? He's locking up everywhere, he's going wide. I'm locking front too. I'm front locking too quickly at the peak, as everything a bit blotchy at the moment, streaming on that. So yeah, just a little bit treacherous. It looks like the Miami pictures this weekend, JT, are just freezing every single second. They can't get stabilised.
Yeah, and we'll see if that improves as well. And Sky should be coming back, and not back yet. I'll tell you when they are.
Yeah.
They're just showing the coming up this weekend.
Oh, Sainz!
A couple of big games, and they're back.
Yeah. Oh, great. Sainz done a 1:29.331. So.
And here is Verstappen getting very close and
this is
getting
the replay.
Big slide.
This is a replay of the replay that we saw. And this is him locking up again a few moments ago. So just running it wide. Sky repeating what you missed in the break. Let's hear from that radio finally.
Radio says this.
I'm front locking too quickly at the peak. Okay, so that's what it is. I'm locking too quickly at the peak. Oh, whatever. Giving up trying. Back to live pictures here in Miami. Sainz on top of this session. Let's do a quick run through for everyone listening in on USRN and WSR and everyone who takes our radio broadcasts. Sainz top, 129.331 on the hard tyres. Perez second, Hamilton's third, Russell fourth, Piastri fifth, Zhou sixth, Ocon seventh, Alonso eighth, Tsunoda ninth, and Gasly goes into 10th. Stroll's 11th with Ricciardo 12th, Norris is 13th, Bottas 14th, Hülkenberg is 15th, Verstappen 16th, Albon 17th, Magnussen 18th, Sargent 19th, and Charles Leclerc has put it into 20th place. Lando Norris sliding round the chicane at turns 14 and 15, and he's got a good exit now. He's following his teammate Oscar Piastri. He moves out of the way. Norris goes through on the left-hand side with DRS open down towards the breakers over 17. I think Lando's got a good opportunity here this weekend if he can get that car working. Let's head down to Martin Brundle, who's at that 14-15 chicane.
Feels a bit like being in Monaco, frankly, because if you watch the cars inside turn 14 here, the tiny little chicane, they sort of drive towards us here on the apex of the corner, and then I'm seeing a lot of errors in here in the few minutes I've been watching, because and I make, we're in a slow corner again. I make no excuse for that, because this is where most time is won and lost. The high-speed stuff is heroic, but this is technical. You spend longer in a slow corner than a fast corner, of course, and there's more to be won and lost, and they have to pick up the throttle, balance the car, get some weight transfer to the outside so you can run over the curb on the inside, and just have the car beautifully balanced. Some, I've noticed, the Williams particularly, they're trying to just flick the back out a little bit to help the car turn. But if you hit that curb on the apex too hard, you just bounce towards the outside. Sainz there was giving it quite a wide berth, actually. And you can see how it's quite a valley. I really hadn't noticed how much up and down it is through here as well. There's just 60 miles an hour, minimum apex speed. And it's a bit of a hop, skip and a jump as they go over that inside curb. As we see Lando Norris through there. And I have to say, I think I've seen 20 different driving styles through here of the 20 cars and drivers, because they're all taking it, trying it in different ways to try to glance through there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can see that this is an error generator in the race. Fascinating little piece of track, actually. Really fascinating to see how the drivers are taking this. Lewis Hamilton, he was riding the curb early and just went all the way along it and waited. You could hear him on the throttle as he drops off the other side, just taking some energy out of the car, let it settle and go. And, the Aston Martin there looking rather vertically stiff as it went across the curb. So obviously you need what they call single wheel travel on but we don't have much of that with the ground effect cars because they run so low to the ground. But you really want to load the outside and let the inside just have a little bit of compliance. But you can't then do that in the high-speed corners or down the straights, because otherwise the car just crashes into the ground. So this is a huge compromise through here for both car and driver. Back to you, Crofty.
Thank you, Martin. And certainly after being trackside at Donington, I have a new respect for Martin walking the track and everything with his, even though he has got a scooter, because it is long walks. And JT, you know as much as that about anybody with you going trackside as much. When are you next trackside for a touring car? Am I doing more than you this year?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, right.
Next time for touring cars, I'm thinking is Brands Hatch GP.
Oh, so you only get
but
one.
Next time trackside in general is tomorrow.
That is true, yeah. So
I won't
get,
be here tomorrow, yes.
out of the 11 touring, I get 4 touring cars. I get the season launch, and then I get I did Donington. Now I've got Knock Hill, and I've got Brands at the end of the year as well. Where what we'll do is we're doing the commentary for the MotoGP in the hotel room. So Moto 3 and Moto 2 we won't do those, I don't think, but the MotoGP will be done in the hotel room, Megan in the comms box here, and then we'll do the touring cars live later on in the day. So yeah, excited for the final. Yeah, we're gonna have 3 people on site for the final. which means somebody had better be controlling the stream that isn't Megan. That's all I'm going to say. Because we're going to have to get someone into Team Viewer and Control. Because what we're going to have is 3 different cameras, and we're going to run it like an old school radio broadcast. So we'll have one of us in Sector 1, one of us in Sector 2, one of us in Sector 3, and then throughout the 3 races of the day, we'll swap places. So I'll be at the start for 1, Josh T will be in Sector 2, Jess Sector 3, then we'll rotate, and then we'll back to where we were at the end. So, yeah, that's how it's going to be. And it's going to be a lot of fun, actually, because it's a Grand Prix layout, so you get some interesting ones. Yeah, you're now going to say signal's going to go at this part of the track, that part of the track.
I hate to break it to you, but the signal at the GP circuit is horrible.
Yeah, so you know that line that you were on last time out? That's where we're going to be based for 2 different sectors. So, and then someone else will be in the first corner, so, and I'll be at the start, and we'll move around.
You can run, like, I did it in race 3.
Yes. Yeah.
You can run between the start of the GP layout and the end of the GP layout. And if you run fast enough, you can beat it. You can beat the cars.
Don't worry, I'm thinking about bringing a scooter, so that whoever's on that route can scooter through. Because I'll have less equipment in my back, won't I? Because I'll have a wireless transmitter and stuff. And then also what that means is I can bring equipment for you and Jess, so that you can all have mics and that lot. And at the end of the day, we should all be fantabby-dozy. But that's in October. We've got to get to August first. And get
we've got a lot of planning time for that.
August.
I was hoping to go Knock Hill, but going from Wiltshire to Scotland, that's quite a distance.
I have an advantage, because like in Nottingham where I could stay with my sister, in Scotland I can stay with my aunt and uncle. So there's an advantage there. I could probably do the same with Brands Hatch Grand Prix, actually, because it's Kent, but it'll be cheaper just to get a hotel. And less noisy, because hotel rooms are soundproofed, which means I can do the commentary. Oscar Piastri at the 14-15 chicane. Has he done the same as Charles Leclerc, I wonder, at the exit of 7... Oh, he brushed the wall, JT. The exit of 16, he brushed the wall. Only just, though.
Yeah,
Oof.
That was very close.
Congrats, F1 and IndyCar. Oh, nearest one for me is Truxton because of clashes, says Jess. Yeah, that is true. 3 centimetres.
I would be going to Foxton, but I'm at Brands Hatch that day.
Yeah, why?
The American Speed Fest.
Oh, yeah. Is there an F1? Is that Brands Grand Prix? Sorry, is Thruxton a weekend where I have to be concerned that you're not there? Because I've only noticed that May's done, June isn't yet. So looking ahead's a bit tricky. But yeah, we try and plan.
I've got all the planning for the touring car clash weekend.
Oh, right. Thruxton is Canada, American NASCAR. Ah, okay. So Thruxton, actually, I could probably do Thruxton, but then really scupper myself for Canada. So that's an advantage. Well, actually, that's an advantage. Because didn't you?
Thruxton is only Formula 1, IndyCar, NASCAR.
Yeah, because I think you said, didn't you, JT, that we could do, me and you could do Thruxton and then come back to your commentary box and do the commentary from there for Canada. Yeah, but you're at Brands Hatch. I remember that. Yeah.
Then I remembered I'm not there.
Yeah.
Next year, maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on what weekend.
That's a good advantage for next year. Although the touring car F1 Canada has been announced. So.
Yeah, but American Speed Fest hasn't been announced.
That's true.
We do that every year.
Still, hopefully.
Like how the British Grand Prix is like, I can't do anything. That's the one weekend.
Nothing can touch the British Grand Prix in early July as well. That's going to be interesting.
And nothing can stop me from going to watch NASCARs in the only time they come to the UK.
Well, it's weird you say about the... Hang on a minute. The British Grand Prix starts at 3 p.m, doesn't it? Hang on a minute. I've just had a thought about something that I've been dreading, but I might not need to dread. What's this with George Russell and Fernando Alonso? Russell shutting the door on Alonso, who's on a fast lap with DRS open. George, use your mirrors. And here's his Hamilton.
This is where we get Alex Albon voice note. George!
Oh, is Hamilton missing the chicane as well at 15?
Yes, it is at 3 p.m. What were you worrying about?
Well, that is on the 5th to the 7th of July, right?
Yes.
MotoGP is at 1 p.m. So
Perfect.
there's
Back
no
to back.
clash. I was just thinking to myself, oh, there'll be a clash. Nope, no clash at all. 1 hour build up to the British Grand Prix starts at 2. So we're fine. All we might miss is the Moto3 and Moto2s, which we could do delayed because no one really minds that when we've got F1 and F2 and F3 to do at Silverstone.
Then Mid-Ohio is after.
Yes, yeah. So straight in. I can't go Sylvia for the F1 due to money. Omi, are you off to Imola? No, you'd love to though. And Monza. Next year, we're looking at getting to 1 Formula 1 European race, multiple British touring car events, and hopefully Formula E in London. And maybe the MotoGP British Grand Prix. I mean, we could do the MotoGP British Grand Prix this year, but the problem is we're running into so many problems with Dorna. We're just sort of staying away for a while with all that lot. But we're working on that. We're working on being added to the Content ID allowers list as well. Jess says, I can't wait for the Formula E on the Saturday as well. Amy's been told, look at your emails. As Joe drops down to P7, 12 minutes to go in this only practice session. Apart from Charles Leclerc doing Austin Powers, it hasn't really been that much. Beer time as well. That's Sauber. What are we actually calling them? Is it steak? Is it kick? Is it just Sauber?
I'm just calling them Sauber.
Yeah, it is Sauber. It's always been Sauber as well. Even when it was Alfa Romeo for a couple of years, it was just Sauber. And have you noticed how easy it has been just going back to calling them Sauber?
Yes.
It's like not even a single bit of issue. Just, oh yeah, Sauber's back. Been around in since the 1990s, Sauber. 1980s, I might even say, maybe. Oh, I need a coffee. Or a drink. I'm still not 100% well anyway.
I mean, you did get...
Yes.
Yeah, you did get electrocuted by 48 volts phantom power, Josh.
Yeah, and it really did mess me up. And it made, I'm not feeling 100% myself either. But I'll be fine. I've got, after this, it's tea time. Then after, I think... Yeah, so it's tea time. Then it's F1 Academy Practice 2. Then it's the Sprint Shootout. And then we go, after that, I do the Moto 2 race, and then Moto 3 and Moto 2 race tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you're still alive, which I guess is a good thing.
Yes, but am I looking forward to a lie-in tomorrow? Yes, I am. There's Stephen Petrick, who is the new race engineer for Valtteri Bottas at Sauber. And you might notice he looks a bit like Valtteri. That didn't help him get the job, but there's been a major shake-up at Sauber in the technical department and the race engineering department. Yep.
Guess what I'm looking forward to.
What?
Doing something which you will go, what in the world?
Albon's sliding
Why?
everywhere, hang on.
What is going
Albon?
on? Is that rear locking or what? Copy, rear locking.
Yeah, Albon rear locking 3 times in the space of a single lap, so he's lost out so much delta time there. Go on.
Am I looking forward to go to school on Monday? Yes, I am.
It's bank holiday, but I can
That's
attest
the point.
that it must be the GCSE revision day.
No, it's a proper school day, but it's a stomp. It's literally a 5 kilometre plus walk.
How come it's a normal school day and a bank holiday? May Day.
Because it's a private kind of school, so they don't have to.
Oh, that's not fair.
It's weird, isn't it?
That's very weird. Get out of there ASAP.
It's actually pretty decent. Like, I don't care. You can choose not to go in, but the 100% attendance grind is real.
Yeah, it is true. Gasly does a 1:29.175 on the soft tyre. He goes fastest by 10.5, so glory run there. Well, I'm looking forward to not going, obviously, but it's coming up to May week, of course, at Cambridge.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but May week's in June, just to confuse everybody. Nobody knows why, but May week's in June. I never understood it really, but it's fun. The boat race was fun. Did you see the boat race? Oh, that was great.
I don't think so.
That was a gust of tailwind there into that corner there, Max.
Yeah, there is a...
I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago, the boat race. Fantastic. This is Lando. Oh, knocking over the bollard on entry. Yeah, so bye-bye bollard. Here's Carlos Sainz.
Oh, bollards.
Carlos Sainz in
Time
the...
to bring that name back out.
I don't like this blue. If they wanted to make a statement, they could have gone all blue. I don't like how it's just semi-blue.
There's been a lot of expectation versus reality posts
Yeah.
that I've seen.
It's still got more blue than the Alpine, though, so we'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, any car can have more blue than the Alpine, let's be honest.
7 touch off, says Yuki Tsunoda. So I don't know why that must be coming through turn 7, having an issue. On the platform says Mum. Mum's heading down to Nottingham as well to see Kellyanne. As well as Zara, Elliot and Dan. I was at the start of the week, of course. Elliot, if you're watching, I hope you like your Porsche flag. I was at the Porsche Carrera Cup GB podium and they hand out the flags. So I put that in my backpack and took it as well and given it to him. It's in a whale's mouth. Don't know why, but it's a 1:28.979 for Sainz as well. I'll have to text Kellyanne and say, did you... In fact, I'm going to do that now. As JT, Russell's across the line.
Yep, Russell goes top by 69 thousandths of a second with a 1:28.910. That's it.
The tires are waiting hot. I have no grip to drive on eggshells.
So Verstappen.
Now,
Okay.
I've never driven on eggshells before, so I don't know what that's like.
I don't know either. Right, I've
The
just,
only thing I've
messaged-
driven is eggshell. Not the only thing I've driven is eggshell. The only thing I've driven is a go-kart. Is Tsunoda goes third in the V-carb with 1:29.172.
Hey, it's actually called V-carb on the timing tire. Have you noticed?
Yes.
It's usually just RB, but now it is V-carb. Hey!
They've actually adopted the name.
That everybody wanted them to. V-carb. Hamilton across the line goes third. 1:29.012. Much better lap time there. As they continue through. There's Mick Schumacher. Reserve driver. Surely he's got the seat for next year.
In Sauber.
No, Mercedes for a year.
Mercedes. Yeah. I don't think Kimi Antonelli will be ready for next year.
No, I don't.
Personally.
Needs a placeholder. So Perez, I'm losing my voice here.
Perez. Down towards turn 17.
Starting to worry I've got some sort of glandular problem.
Ah.
Yeah. Perez across the line.
Starts a lap time. Into turn 1.
Hurts when I swallow. Hulk goes 7th. 1:29.314.
Norris and Piastri in pits. Russell and Sainz have just pitted as well with 5 minutes to go. They'll be getting ready for practice starts, no doubt, at the end of this session. The only time when they'll be able to do practice starts on the grid.
Just put my microphone up and my shield fell off. I was trying to get back through there. Hugh Bird, the race engineer for Perez.
That sounds better than wearing 2 headphones at once, Josh. Which I told school and they thought that I was insane. And I agreed.
Perez on the medium compound tyre. Closing up a bit more. Sun's out there. Track temperature at 53.4. It's risen.
Purple sector 2, but he's a quarter of a second down, is Perez, as he goes down towards the hairpin.
Russell, I think, is on a test tyre. It's not telling us what it says soft on our monitors, but up here in the comms box, it's not telling us exactly what tyre it's on. But Perez is looking absolutely fantastic right now.
Are there test tyres this weekend?
I don't think there is. It's just changed to 3-lap on soft, so it's updated now. He's gone through the pit lane. Oh, Perez, fastest, 1:28.868. Brilliant lap time.
42 thousandths of a second, faster than Russell there. Russell and Sainz out on an out lap, ready for their final lap. And practice starts, and everyone out on track except Lewis Hamilton. And of course, Charles Leclerc, who is no longer allowed to take part in this session after causing the red flag. Albon goes 10th, just over half a second off the pace.
Just going to hand over to Megan in the box for a few minutes.
Yeah, with 3 minutes left in the session.
Hello.
Nice. Hello, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. Was not expecting to be in here.
Yes.
Is it going well?
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about exam season. It's all fun and games.
I remember that pain. Good luck.
Thanks.
In about a year, you'll develop a taste for coffee, trust me. I did.
Yeah, Verstappen is on a lap time now, going through the twisty section of the circuit. I believe we did a race round Miami when we were messing around on F123. I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I remember once when I was you were racing around there.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember. I think I dive bombed Josh at turn 11, where we are just exiting now. Verstappen through the chicane where Martin Brundle was trackside earlier on, and this year we call it the Gamebridge chicane. That's the advertising there. Verstappen 6 tenths up already, and he is going to get the fastest lap as well as he comes up towards turn 17. And on the power through turn 18 and 19, now up towards the line. Where does he go? It is a 1:28.595, 0.273 of a second quicker than teammate Perez. Russell is also on a lap as well.
Ooh, perfect sector 1. It's good. So green sectors 1 and 2 for Sainz. Green sector 1 and 2 also for Piastri, and Russell has just done a 1:28.784. I can't remember. Was he already in second? I think he was.
Yeah, Sainz up into second. Russell as well second, but now not down to third as you said. Piastri across the line goes second. A 10th off the pace, so 1:28.7 exactly. And here is the V-carb of Tsunoda as he goes towards the line. It is an incredible livery. We haven't talked about it this session yet as he goes 7th. Tsunoda, it is an incredible livery, isn't it?
I saw them making that. It was done so lovely. I love it. I can hear Joshua about to come back in.
And here is Magnussen. DRS Open going down to the towards the braking zone of turn 17. Check it out. Checkered flag is out, by the way. And out Ocon goes 9th. Gasly has taken the flag as well. Same with Logan Sargent. There is the flag. Hello. As Tsunoda goes across the line with Magnussen and Alonso as well.
So Verstappen ends this one then on top, 1:28.5. 9.5. Piastri in P2, Sainz third, Russell fourth. Stroll goes in to 5th position. Perez in P6. Let's take a look on board at Piastri into the chicane at 14.15. Oh, he nearly took off the front and nearly, yeah, that was a messy chicane. Is he going to lose the exit as well? So Piastri is struggling at that section of corners. They couldn't make it easy, could they, for the drivers? It's one of the most hardest corners in all of Formula One. So Piastri P2. We'll do some practice starts on the grid then to take it up to the line. 1:28.595 for Verstappen, Piastri, Sainz, Russell. Ahead of Stroll, Perez, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Ocon, Gasly. That's your top 10 at the moment. I'm just checking to see if our previous system works. Yeah, we've got a brand new. We've fixed our session recovery informations. You'll be delighted to know. So that we have now a session results page, but we don't have a starting grid page. I'm working on that. I'll be ready for the sprint race tomorrow. Yeah, but still, Verstappen. He's still on top in this interesting season. There's Adrian Newey watching on. What do you think then? McLaren look good? Only 10th off. Verstappen still P1?
Yeah. I honestly think McLaren can get a podium in the race on Sunday, but we'll have to see. It is Miami at the end of the day.
Norris down in 16th with all those issues as well, so he's got a lot of work to do. Alonso 19th. Leclerc, though, no data at all at this track. And he's going into qualifying now blind.
It's difficult having a back-to-back sprint because you've got... This is the part of the season where you bring your first upgrades, and you have to make that decision. Do we bring them in later, so it's not a sprint weekend, or do we risk it and bring them in on a sprint weekend where it's only 1 hour of practice instead of 3 hours of practice? It's a difficult decision, and for Piastri, it looks like it's paid off.
Yeah, McLaren risked it. They've brought it in, and yeah, Alonso only did his laps on the hards, as SHG pointed out as well. So we could be seeing McLaren have an interesting strategy coming up in race days, but would they bring upgrades as well to Imola in 2 weeks' time, which is a very short track, which doesn't really determine, oh, this is going to be better for running orders. So we'll wait to see on that. But Imola in 2 weeks will also be the first ever Sky F1 race without David Croft in the commentary box. So remember that. Martin Brundle will be there as well. Here's the results then from the first practice session. Max Verstappen is the fastest from Piastri second, Sainz rounds out in third, Russell's fourth, Stroll fifth, Perez sixth, Hamilton seventh, Tsunoda eighth, Ocon 9th, and Gasly rounds out the top 10. Ricciardo 11th, Magnussen 12th, Hülkenberg's 13th, Albon is 14th, Zhou 15th, Norris is 16th, Bottas 17th, Sargent 18th, Alonso 19th, and Leclerc takes us over in 20th position. What did you make of it then, JT? What do you think going into the next two?
Interesting session, and a little bit concerning about how easily it is for the track to be blocked when a car spins at the tight part of the session, but we've seen what happened when Leclerc did the I am stupid at Baku. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if anything is done with that. Going into sprint shootout, hopefully the McLarens have got rid of their issues. For Piastri, it looks like they have, but more work for Lando Norris needed.
Thanks, JT. Thanks to all of you at home. We'll be back in a couple of hours' time then, ready to go for the sprint qualifying. That is at 9:15 p.m, but you can join us at 8:20 for all the action from F1 Academy's second practice. Thanks for your company. We'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.